When you think of Captain America, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Maybe it's his unmatched combat skills. A super soldier who can go toe-to-toe with anyone, no matter how powerful they are. Or maybe it's the image of a living relic. A man out of time, holding on to old-school values while trying to adapt to a fast-moving, modern world. But today, I want to talk about something far less obvious, yet far more impressive. Captain America's insane emotional intelligence. Steve Rogers isn't just physically strong. He's emotionally sharp, incredibly empathetic, and able to navigate social situations with a kind of grace that's rare, even among heroes. Take the scene from Avengers: Age of Ultron, for example. During a light-hearted moment at the Avengers party, everyone takes a turn trying to lift Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. No one even budges it until Cap steps up. He grabs the handle, gives it a slight tug, and it moves, just a bit. But then he stops, smiles, and walks away. Thor lets out a quiet sigh of relief. And Cap? He pretends like nothing happened. Was that moment just a joke? Maybe. Or maybe Captain America realized he could lift the hammer, but chose not to, just to spare Thor's pride. It's subtle, easy to miss, but it says everything about Steve's character. He doesn't need the spotlight. He doesn't need to prove anything. He knows when to act, and when to hold back for the sake of someone else. And in Avengers: Endgame, that theory was confirmed. When all hope seemed lost, Cap stood tall on the battlefield, and finally wielded Mjolnir for real. And how did Thor react? He didn't feel threatened. He cheered, yelling, "I knew it!" That's not just power. That's trust, built through humility and emotional awareness. But Cap's empathy isn't limited to grand gestures. Sometimes it's in the smallest things, like how he talks to people. In the Avengers, Bruce Banner is still struggling to reconcile his two identities. The calm, brilliant scientist, and the uncontrollable green monster. Most of the team casually refers to him as Banner, regardless of which side he's showing. But not Steve Rogers. Cap is the only one who consistently recognizes and respects the difference. When Bruce is himself, Cap calls him Banner. When Hulk takes over, Cap switches and addresses him as Hulk.
No confusión.
No lumping them together. Just respect for both sides of who he is. It might seem like a small thing, but to someone constantly torn between two worlds, it means everything. That's Steve Rogers for you. He doesn't need to be flashy or loud. His respect, his empathy, his understanding, they come through in the quietest, most meaningful ways. And then there's his ability to inspire. Captain America isn't just a soldier. He's a speaker, a leader, a symbol. In The Winter Soldier, when Hydra is secretly infiltrating S.H.I.E.L.D., Cap takes a massive risk. He steps up to a microphone, in front of an entire organization that may or may not still trust him, and says, "The price of freedom is high, but it's a price I'm willing to pay." That single line doesn't just expose Hydra's plans. It rallies the entire agency back to life. He doesn't use fear. He doesn't use threats. He uses conviction. And in Endgame, before the Avengers split up to pull off the time heist, once again it's Cap who delivers the rallying cry. Whatever it takes. Just 3 words. But with that one line, even Rocket, the sarcastic, jaded raccoon who never respects anyone, finally nods in approval. Because when Captain America speaks, people listen. Not because he demands it, but because he means every word. In the end, it's not the shield or the super serum that makes Steve Rogers so special. It's the heart behind it all. The empathy, the humility, the emotional intelligence that allows him to lead with honor, not ego. And that's why no one else can be Captain America.